What's up, everyone? We are back. It's over. 68 games. Couldn't even get to 69 and have it be a nice number for us, but it's over. We're officially in the top 4 race. We are Yanks of the Cop. Thanks for joining us. As always, I am your host, Steve, joined by my brother, Scans, our London correspondent, Wahomie, and we have a very special guest today. Fellow Redmen, has their own YouTube channel, the 1892 Reds podcast. Please check it out if you haven't yet. We have Luke, who is the host over there. Luke, thanks so much for joining us, man. How you doing other than the loss?
Hi, Steve. Thanks for letting me come on. Hi, everyone. I'm good. Personally, I'm good, but obviously the result is taken out on the day itself. Just to, we was obviously going to lose eventually at some point, but no, just devastated, absolutely devastated about the result tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's get into our opening statements. So, Luke, everyone's going to get 30 seconds to say whatever they want. But I'm going to kick us off. And, I'm not holding back anymore, man. It's getting completely unfucking acceptable when you see the talent that we have in this team. And we continue to put out absolute stinkers. Trent Alexander-Arnold has become what everyone has said he has from a rival fan standpoint. He is now just a cross and in-salah merchant. That's all he does. He can just cross the ball to nobody. Mane, our front three, okay, I'm done with shots on target. Somebody needs to grow a sack and decide, you know what, I'm going to be the guy to score a goal and go do it. No one's taking responsibility. Well, mentality monsters, that's dead. I want to hear any more about that. This team, we are completely soft mentally right now. You can just see in their face there's absolutely zero belief. And if we don't get a goal in the first 20 minutes, then we settle for a draw. And then like today, we can talk about the Allison call later, but whatever. Yeah, we allowed Burnley to stay in the game when we were absolutely much the better team. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm absolutely ridiculous. All of the guys who had a chance today, Shaqiri, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Divock Origi, did absolutely freaking nothing with it. And I'm just tired of it. All right, we need a major shakeup, and I'm talking we need Jota back, and the moment he comes back, you put him into the lineup. I'm done with this front three. I'm done with the midfield not creating anything through the middle. I'm absolutely tired of it. I want new faces. I want go out, spend the money in the summer, bring in people to challenge these guys because they got way too comfortable this year, and I'm sick and tired of it.
That's a big run. I was going to say this. Burnley hadn't won at Anfield in 46 years. 46 years.
Dude,
that's the last time they won at Anfield.
Keep that shit to yourself, man. Keep that shit to yourself. I want not to know that.
Burnley hadn't even got a point against any of the big, I think they had 1 point against the big teams. God, that's what is it now? That's we've lost 16 points or something. Or against the bottom 5 teams. Shocking. Klopp said earlier, I think I saw a quote him saying he was told to need wholesale changes. Does he? And he said, I don't think I need wholesale changes. And that's not true. We need massive. I said it before. We need a massive clear out the summer. The players are just, the players that just have gone their, have gone the point they can't go anymore. They just need to move on. And I said tonight, before the game, we should not be starting Gini Wijnaldum against the low block. He wasn't a scapegoat, but I think tonight we didn't need him tonight. It's not a game for Gini. It's not a game. I don't understand why we start the lineup tonight. I said before the game, forget Man United weekend. We need to go our best team tonight. Yes, they played poorly against Man United. We need to play the best team up. Why start Origi and stuff like that tonight? Do that on Saturday against Man United. What's tonight? So I think you got the formation wrong today. And I think, not saying before the game, I think I love Klopp, but at some point we have to start saying he's at fault tonight. Because we criticize FSG about transfer stuff, but Klopp's substitutions all season have not made sense. Formations sometimes have not made sense, and tonight he got it wrong. And I know people will come at me for criticizing Klopp because some people don't like to criticize him ever, but he's at fault tonight. So
who would you have played?
I would have played the exact same. My lineup tonight was I would have had Alisson in goal, Robbo, Matip, Phillips, Trent, then move Fabinho to midfield, Firmino, Hendo, Thiago, Salah, Mane, Firmino, Bobby. That was the lineup tonight.
You think Phillips could have handled Ashley Barnes today? You see the battle that Fabinho had with him and Matip. Phillips would have
Well,
gotten bundled by Ashley Barnes.
That's hindsight. That's hindsight now. That's what watching the game. But before the game, we didn't know that they would do that to Fabinho and Matip. So before the game, I would have done that.
What's Fabinho going to do differently in the midfield?
Fabinho breaks up plays.
He doesn't create. I mean,
well, he gets more. He plays more forward passes than Gini or anyone else does. So for Thiago,
I think Gini should have been the 6. Thiago should have been the 8. I don't know why Gini is the 8 in this kind of game. You know, they're just gonna play a low block the entire time. Gini's at the top of the box. He doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't shoot it. I love Gini Wijnaldum, but what the fuck is he doing? He's just dancing around the ball, passes it out wide, gets the ball back, passes it back to Fabinho. It's the same shit over and over again. It's so frustrating. Put Thiago up there. Thiago's just sitting back there waiting for the ball, trying to spray it wide. I just don't understand it. I agree with you. I think it's on Klopp. I think a lot of it's on Klopp. Gini Wijnaldum should not have played this game. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he needs a sit down. He sprayed in 22 crosses today. Only one of them was successfully hitting a Liverpool player. What the fuck is that? Come on, man. Play Nico Williams. Play James Milner. I don't give a shit. Trent needs to sit down.
I don't know because I was watching that game thinking, I swear, I know Thiago played 6 at Bayern Munich, but he played in a dynamic Bayern Munich team, which is different. You know, they had runners, and it was different. I think at Liverpool, unless we have dynamic runners who are going to run off the ball, we're playing him wrong, to be honest. I think he needs to play further forward. And I think tonight, again, I was thinking, why is Thiago so deep for? Like, play him further forward. And because I think he would be much better for us further forward.
All right, Luke, get in here, man. Give us your opening statements.
I think you've all covered it, to be honest. I mean, let's start with the Thiago situation. I think he's sitting too deep. I think Wijnaldum shouldn't be playing this game. I agree with you. I think Fabinho needs to go into that centre midfield role again. Put Phillips in there at centre back with Matip. Just totally, like, we know Burnley are going to sit back and soak in that pressure. I wasn't worried about Barnes and Wood like up front. We knew they were going to go long, and that's why Phillips was going to be in the team. So Phillips would cope with that sort of pressure with the aerial threat. And then, you know, for me, the second half especially, he's left the change too late. I think Salah should have came on, or maybe started the game, obviously, but, you know, bring him on at half time. Oxlade-Chamberlain looked totally out of his depth throughout the whole game. I mean, when it's not going your way, it's not going your way in front of goal. Origi's got to score. You know, the other chances we've had in the second half, Pope's made some great saves, but, you know, for me, I've defended Jurgen Klopp for many, many times. I did say a couple of years ago when we won the Champions League, that was the season where Jurgen Klopp needed to, you know, put himself down as, you know, he's the man at Liverpool, and I still think he is. Of course we do, you know, but for the last, you know, this season, the games that we should be winning, the Burnley tonight, the Brightons, Fulhams, West Broms, it's not good enough. And as you mentioned, we can go on about FSG all we like, but for me, it's Jurgen Klopp. It's his tactics he's picked tonight. It's the wrong team that he's put out. As someone's just put, Oxlade-Chamberlain's not a winger. He's a centre midfielder. Why are you not putting Oxlade-Chamberlain in that position? And, you know, Wijnaldum's in that area. I agree with what Holmes said. Like, Wijnaldum should be playing at the weekend, not tonight. You know, giving him the captaincy. What's that? What, you're trying to get him a new contract? The guy wants to go. Like, why are you giving him the captaincy if the guy clearly wants to go? He said the other day, it's the club that should be coming out saying about my contract, not me. Like, it doesn't make sense. And, you know, look at, just lastly, it's just going on strikers. I mean, Firmino at the moment can't hit a barn door. It's just, Salah and Mane have dug us out of trouble for years, but we need a proper centre forward at the club next season. It's not good enough. And it changed. There's definitely problems at Liverpool. No goals in 5 games. When would I ever see that?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I say to anyone else who's saying to me that we don't need an attacking midfielder who scores goals. I said it the other day. We don't need a like for like. When Ginny goes, we do not need a like for like player in Ginny. Forget Basuma, all these like for like players. We need a guy who's going to come in and score goals, get in the box, score goals. We need to start. I think as well what I was saying the other day as well, that I think look, I know it was a great system that worked for so long, but I think now us playing through the flanks doesn't work anymore. Teams realise that, and they nullify the flanks, and they make Robbo and Trent have to cross further deeper. So not crossing as high as they did before. They're planning to cross deeper now. And I think we need to start playing through the middle. We don't have the players, except for Thiago, we don't have anyone else who plays through the middle who can do that. So we need a priority this summer for me, when Ginny goes, is to refix the midfield and get a goal-scoring midfielder that's going to score goals, get in the box and create. That's what we need. And then you can move Hendo, Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago, or Fabinho and Thiago to be the ones supporting that player. But that's what we need, because even if we had scored tonight, we are too reliant on the forwards to score goals. You know, I was watching like Man City, they're getting Gundogan, Stones. When do our midfielders ever score goals? They get goals out of nowhere.
Like my co-host Ricky, when we do our podcast, he mentions all the time, you know, since 2018, Wijnaldum's not registered a goal or an assist, for example. But like, we can't rely on Mane and Salah to continuously get the goals for us. And I agree with you. Like, we're coming out in wide areas, getting the ball in wide areas, and we're going long against Burnley. Like, it's just no plan B. Like, it's what do you do? Like, I don't know. You know,
I think Carragher said it as well. Liverpool run ideas. I think there was a moment when Mane ran with the ball, and he got into the box. So he didn't know what he was doing, and he got tackled. I just summed it up, and I thought, yeah, they run out ideas.
Well, it's tiring, and our Blake here has a post. You know, nothing's anyone's fault. It's crazy COVID, empty stadiums, no magic. Having to play Burnley on a Thursday night, just a mess. Unpredictable though. I completely disagree, because everyone's playing with these circumstances. Every single team in the Premier League has to deal with the same exact things. Okay, and like, I get it. There's some players that may be better, you know, with fans in the stands and that sort of a thing. But guess what? They're all professionals. They're all used to playing with fans in the stands. They're used to playing now with no fans in the stands. That's not a freaking excuse. And I'm tired of giving these guys cop outs and all this stuff. They're clearly not motivated. There's zero belief that. Now, there used to be a time when we were either down or tied at the end of the game. Last year, we'd always be like, oh, I always had a feeling that we were going to get one. Now, after the first 15 minutes of every game, if you don't get one, I'm literally thinking, well, here we go. We have another draw. And you can sense it even within the team. There's no creativity. Like you said, homie, how many times are we just going to keep allowing Trent Alexander-Arnold to hit 20 crosses into the box and expect to get something different? It's completely insanity. It's utter insanity. And I'm also tired of guys like, you know, we always talk about, you know, like, we want to see Shaqiri get a run. Like, we like Ox might help against low blocks and all this stuff. Well, guess what? You guys held your opportunity today and you put up a huge fucking stinker at home. Like, eventually Klopp has to look these guys in the face and say, like, all you guys suck right now. Pick up your shit or you're all gone next year. Like,
I think what I want to say to the players, we don't have Andy Carroll up top. We're not playing with Andy Carroll. So even Shaqiri, why is he putting his crosses in like we have Andy Carroll up top for? You know,
and Origi's not the freaking answer either. Yeah, I know he's tall, but he sucks. Sorry, like, he's a good finisher, but he's not good.
If we were doing low ball crosses, I get it, but we're doing high ball crosses in. We're not.
Even with a high ball crosses, there was no pace on it at all. Like, just Burnley they just sat into the box and thought, okay, just play the ball in the box and we'll just hoof it clear. You're not going to score against us. And it's just hopeless. Like, I agree with you, just hopeless.
Well, one thing I noticed today, especially with the crosses, is that, you know, our front three aren't doing any help to Trent and Robertson when it comes to crosses, because I haven't seen one person that when Trent has the ball make a run to the near post for a cross that way. They all either just float. I'm tired of it. Like, it's just like, do you guys even want the ball? And then, you know, another thing I noticed too is just like, you know, the link up play within the front three sucks. It seems like anytime they get in front of the net, they automatically think, oh, I have to shoot. When there's always a guy wide open either on the wing or behind for a pass. So I don't know, man. It's getting really frustrating. Something's got to change.
Yeah, I love J-Doc. We don't have fucking Benteke anymore.
It's a good point. It's a good point. But what did you guys think of the starting lineup? I mean, obviously there was a lot of rotation. We saw you know, Shaq get the start, Ox get the start, Origi get a start. Overall, Andrew, you kind of predicted a lineup like this. So, you know, what were your thoughts on him running, Klopp running those guys out?
I mean, I liked it to start. I don't think Oxlade-Chamberlain should have been playing winger. I think that he should have been playing in the center midfielder, and I think Shaqiri should have been maybe up top on the wing. We're playing against a low block. We don't need speed on the wings like Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's not a good winger anyway anymore. He needs to be in the center of the park where he had I think one good shot on target. You know, that's where he needs to be. He needs to be able to just line up and shoot the ball or play the ball through. And you know, I was glad that Origi started, but I honestly wish Minamino played the whole game, because I know Minamino probably would have finished that one-on-one with the keeper. I can't believe he went for power and placed it in the top corner. Like, what the hell are you thinking, man? I don't know. I'm just so mad right now. It's hard to put words out there, but yeah, it was a good lineup, I guess. I guess it was a good lineup.
What do you think, Luke?
I'm struggling to see where Curtis Jones was today, because I think that would have been a good game for him. Like as you mentioned, I think like we're getting the ball out wide, it's not working. Oxlade-Chamberlain is not a winger no more for me. You know, Curtis Jones, when he picks the ball up, he wants to drive forward. He wants to get into, you know, the attacking third of the pitch, and just, you know, I don't know why he didn't play defensively. I didn't see why Fabinho had to play centre back tonight. I think we could have pushed him a bit more into the midfield. You know, because Burnley ain't got runners in behind. You know, Barnes and Woods are not the quickest of players. I think going forward, I think maybe Origi should have started, which, you know, he should have taken his chance. But I think overall, I think Origi done okay. But obviously, yeah, it's a man with not much confidence, and obviously hasn't played much. So, you know, I can understand why he came off a bit early. The wingers is ludicrous. He's played Mane, but he's rested Salah. I don't get it. I really don't. And I agree with what you mentioned, Wahomie, earlier. Like, why are you playing a rotated team tonight when you could easily do that at the weekend where it's not as important? So, yeah, no, Klopp's got to take. You know,
I think they needed rotation. I'm glad that they rotated. I didn't think that Salah and Firmino had a good game at all last game. You know, in the past few games. So, I mean, I think Mane's been somewhat effective going forward. He hasn't been scoring goals recently, but I'm glad they mixed it up. Firmino clearly needs to sit down, and I don't know. He needs to just start coming up off the bench, I think. He's just that shot was just so far off, and that was just looked like somebody who lacked any confidence at all. I love Firmino, but he needs to sit down as well. And I'm glad he got it today.
I just add in like that shot from Firmino. As soon as that went, you know, it was nearer the corner flag than the goal. And as soon as that happened, I said straight away, we missed Jota big time. You know, Diego Jota ain't missing the target from there, and he's been a huge miss for us.
Imagine if he didn't play. Imagine if he didn't play against Midtjylland. Well, I mean, I said the entire time, what the hell are they doing playing him against Midtjylland in a useless game like that?
And it goes to Jurgen Klopp with the team selection. I mean, it goes from there, and it's still happening now. So Klopp's got to, you know, he's got to address that, and he's got to make the right decisions in the future. Otherwise, you know, there's going to be more questions about him.
Well, I think there's two things to me I'd say here. I think the first one is I think Jota's brought in to be a backup striker, and the fact that we are now relying on him to come and save our season, that's worrying. Because as good as he has done, no one expects him to be that good. So the fact that we're expecting our backup forward to come and save us is quite worrying to me, and actually quite damning to the rest of the squad. And the other thing is, look, I agree with what Akira Tambi's saying, like kind of thing. Like, if we are going to play Gini tonight, why don't we play him like he does for Holland as an attacking midfielder? Why do we have to play him so deep or play him how we're doing? Because at Holland, he's told to get in the box and score goals and shoot and stuff. If we're going to play him tonight, why don't we play him that way? Because at least that's something different. Not this thing of he just stays outside the box and controls. It just kills the game. It makes it slow. So, but I think what's worrying for me is the fact that we had both Thiago and Shaq, and we still lack creativity. That's what's worrying for me. That's what's worrying for me, you know. And I think, like, there's just too many players that just are having terrible form. They're just terrible form. I don't know if it's a question of players' mentality, because I hate to question these players who've been amazing for us for 3 years, but there's something not right in terms of the hunger, in terms of, you know, how they're approaching games, or how they approach games against small teams. You know, because, you know, if that was a Spurs or Man United, I think we approached it a bit much better than that. I think we played much better than against Man United did today. Even though we weren't great against Man United, I think we played much better. And I don't understand why we find it hard now this year than compared to last year to get ourselves up for these games. I don't understand why we play so slow. There's no invention. We can't score. And even when Salah Mane did come on, or Salah came on, he didn't really do anything. It's the same thing, trying to cut in, trying to do. He's trying to replicate that Chelsea goal. He scored.
Yeah.
Every time he's trying to do that, he's trying to do that. You know that goal we scored against Chelsea where he shot on the edge of the box out and curled it in. He tries to do that, but he gets blocked out. Then all he does is passes it, and it's like this. It's the same thing over and over again. And then Mane, yeah, he works hard, but Mane hasn't scored like 5 games now. Forget the Palace game, Villa game. He hasn't scored like 5 games now. So it's this illusion that Mane's doing well. He's not doing well. He's just running about looking busy. And I think there's something that the core, rotten in the core, there's something rotten that's rotting away at the players. And I think we're turning to Leicester, how Leicester were like when they won the league. That was a fluke, to be honest. And I hate to say it. And it feels like we can say COVID.
Fluke, man, come on.
Well, the question someone will ask is,
we've been killed with injuries this year. It's a COVID season, you know. There's no fans in the stands.
Yeah, but other devil's advocate, someone might say, were Liverpool really that good? Or the rest of the league that poor last season? Because fair enough, you take away the injuries, Van Dijk and Gomez. Fair enough, take those away. But the rest of the team should be bringing. We shouldn't be losing drawing the games and losing the games that we've dropped points in. So, what's the difference? You know, since we won the league.
That's the difference from Alex right there. We won the Champions League the year before, and we had 97 points the year before. So it wasn't a fluke, man. This is a great team. We just when teams line up in a low block, we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, but that was the issue last year. The year before that. So I don't understand why that's still an issue. Why can't we figure out how to break down?
I think it comes down to Klopp. I think you hit a nail on the head earlier on. I think it comes down to Klopp's tactics when he faces against a low block. I think that the forwards play much too narrow. They play too close to each other. When you look at teams like City and when they're going up against a low block, Mahrez and Sterling are literally on either sideline. They are touching the paint on the grass, and they don't cut inside until they have the ball or there's an overlap or something like that. There's just constant movement. You know, unless we're playing the ball over the top, we're not really effective when we play so narrow. So I think he needs to look at it because clearly it's not working. We're not getting results at all anymore.
Well, I think I was going to say is you know the difference between, like they were saying that thing about great teams we retain the title, good teams win the league. I think for us to be seen as a great team, we need to retain the title. We're not going to do it, and if we don't do it this year, we've blown a big chance.
Well,
I would say a great team has won the Champions League and the Premier League in back-to-back seasons. I would say that's a great team.
But I think that's the problem, dude. I think the problem is with a lot of these guys too. It's like, first of all, with no Jota, the front three have no competition behind them. They're not motivated. They've already won the Prem. They won the Champions League here. What else are they going to win now? So and then they know they're going to have their spot because Jota's out. Like Origi's not going to get a start week in, week out. So it's just like, they think they can just walk in there and beat people with talent now. That's what it seems like to me. They're not working hard.
Yeah, this is what it is for me from Magical Mo. It just seems like when we face like a low block, we have no plan B. We can bring on different players, but it's the same thing over and over again. We're going to pass the ball to Trent. He's going to try to whip a cross in, and it's not going to go to anybody.
Do you definitely get one of the front three now this summer?
Yeah.
It kept me on a bad day, homie.
I feel like quite devil advocate today. I'm just asking, because I just don't know.
Yeah, I bring in. Obviously you keep Jota, and I bring in another guy. Yeah, I'll bring in a true striker. To challenge Firmino. I do bring in a creative midfielder, and I bring in another center back, and dare I say, even maybe bring in another. Maybe somebody even better than Nico Williams to challenge Trent, because I'm done babying these guys. It's like you don't want to step up your stuff, then we're gonna bring people in to really push you until you fucking change.
What do you think? Yeah,
strikers needed. I've had a chat with loads of people about who we know that if we bring in a big name striker, I mean, I want Haaland. That's the one that I think we need. If we get him in, I think Salah or Mane will go, and it looks more likely it'll probably be Salah. We do need competition for Trent Alexander-Arnold, because there's always that talk about he's going to be pushed into midfield, and I don't know. We do need a right back to push him. We have been unfortunate with centre backs this year because obviously with the Van Dijk and Gomez injuries. I think that just the creative midfielder. I think at the moment, I think we're okay with that. If we're able to push Thiago a bit further forward, then I think we've got that position covered. But at the moment, as you can see, with the injuries we've got defensively, we can't do that because, Fabinho's Thiago's near enough effectively trying to play in the Fabinho role. And obviously he's not being able to push forward. So, yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think the main area we need to look at is a striker. And I love Roberto Firmino. I think he's been pivotal for our 4 or 5 years that we've been successful. But missing big chances. 2 years with 2 years that he's been how many home goals has he scored? 3, 4. I mean, it's embarrassing, and I love what he does off the ball. He links up well with the front two, like the other two, but good times always come to an end, and I do think Haaland is the answer for next season. So yeah, that would be my pick.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. We need a major change. We do need a true out and out striker. Someone like I think Bobby can still have a role, maybe off the bench or as the second guy, or maybe switching to a 4-2-3-1 and having him be more of a 10 consistently. But something has to happen up top, because the last month and a half, we've had absolutely nothing, from those guys. Zero creativity, nothing. And then, again, in the midfield again today, I thought we had absolutely nothing. Thiago was trying to move the ball around, but again, he's sitting way too deep, and we talk about this a lot. Like, he needs to be in a more forward position than what he's playing in, because otherwise, our defenders do a good job of finding Thiago early, but other than that, once we get over that halfway line, we have absolutely nothing going through the midfield. Just hit it out wide to Trent and Robbo. Hopefully they find somebody's feet in the box.
Or switch to a 4-2-3-1. But someone said, I think it was Magical Mo said, João Felix for Firmino, Mbappe for Salah or Mane. I mean, I don't think João Felix would do well in the Premier League. I could be wrong, but he doesn't really strike me as a Liverpool player. But I would love to see Mbappe, obviously. But I actually have to bounce, guys. I apologize, but it's going to get better. We're going to get a win. We're going to beat Spurs. We're going to beat United the weekend. It was great. It was great being here and being able to vent to you guys. It's been great. But later.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the penalty decision against Alisson?
I think it's a penalty. I think Fabinho defended poorly and allowed Burnley striker, I can't remember his name.
Ashley Barnes.
Allowed Barnes to get in ahead of him, and then Alisson committed himself and was never going to get there. So I think it's a rare mistake for Alisson and Fabinho, who've been amazing this season. So, and unfortunately, it was a penalty all day.
Couldn't agree more. I don't want to sort of make excuses, but he does go down before his contact. He does anticipate that there's going to be contact made, but in this modern day, it is a penalty, and we've got ourselves to blame. I mean, as you mentioned, Alisson and Fabinho have been superb, with the problems that we got at the back, and that one bit of concentration that we didn't do well, and it's cost us the game. And it's not, for me, I don't look at those two. I look at, we're not able to put the ball in the back of the net, and for me, it's a penalty.
See, I think it's a penalty too, but what pisses me off is, so that's a penalty, but Mane against Newcastle wasn't. I mean, he literally just gets tackled by the goal. Again, zero consistency in the Premier League, and it's very frustrating with the officiating. Officiating had nothing to do with today's game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, if you're not going to call it against Newcastle, the one today was much, much less contact than it was in first Mane against Newcastle. So all I'm asking for is creativity. I feel like I ask for it every single game. Just give us some consistency, please, please, please. But unbeaten run finally over. I mean, I don't even know what else I even want to talk about right now, because I'm just so frustrated with these guys. It's pissing me off.
Well, is that for you guys? Is that the title gone?
Yeah, it is for me, because listen, in this bad stretch that we've had, we've played, I think, 4 of the teams in the bottom 6 of the league, and we haven't been able to get 3 points. So what's going to happen when we start playing against the top teams? We're not going to get points against them if we can't get points against these guys. So yeah, in my mind, it's over. Title's over. It's in the top four run right now. Everton's 2 points behind us with 2 games in hand right now. So if they win one of those games, then look at that. We're in 5th place already. So I am not confident at all about the rest of this season. It doesn't matter about anything, really. I know we have Jota coming back. I know we potentially have Gomez coming back soon and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. We're in too big of a hole already. We're officially in a dogfight for top 4.
Luke?
I mean, we're talking about the title. I think we need to worry about scoring a goal first. I mean, it's just, yeah, I think that summed it up tonight. We've obviously got hopes and dreams that we can obviously retain it, but I think that performance tonight, I think, sums up that we have got bigger problems to worry about in the future, long term. The title is gone. Top 4 and Champions League, we probably will have to concern about now. The run of fixtures we've got now is just, we can't score against Burnley. I'm not overly confident against the next 6-7 games we've got coming up. So yeah, for me, the title's gone. We'd have to worry about top 4 and Champions League this season.
What do you think?
Can we win the Champions League?
Yeah.
I mean, we know, innit? Obviously in Europe, Liverpool step up as a better team in Europe for some reason. Obviously, that Anfield European night is always the one that people look out for. But as I mentioned earlier, all jokes aside, if we can't score goals, we ain't going to go further. And it's something we need to get over the line. And can we win the Champions League? No, not with the squad that we've got at the moment. I don't think we can. I do think this season we're going to be trophyless this season. The FA Cup could have had a better run, but surprise, surprise, we get hard draws as always. I just think finishing the top 4 now, and just look forward to next season. Hopefully no more injuries until the end of the season from now.
What do I think? I was so adamant that we'd turn it around. I went into this game really positive, thinking, yeah, we're going to get this our night. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I'm not saying the title's gone, but I think I'm now 60-40. We're not winning the league. Before this game, I was 50. I was leaning on to 50. Now 60-40. We're not going to win the league. I think City are gonna run now. Their games are too easy. They were coming up until the time we played them in the beginning of February. They've got so many games that they'll pick up points in all of them. So,
and they've got a game in hand as well.
We'll be officially out of the title race by the time we play City, in my opinion.
I think it's going to be too much to ask. The Champions League, it depends. I think it all depends on the results, the draws you get. If the draws are kind to you, then you can get to the semi-final. The draws are kind to you. If you don't face a big team until the semi-finals, then it can be kind to you. Or if you get like a Barcelona or like that, then you're fine. If we can avoid a Bayern Munich or Atletico Madrid until like the final, then you're fine. I think we're good enough, because I don't think the teams in Europe are going to play defensive 10 men behind the ball football. They don't play that way. As long as it's Atletico Madrid or Juventus, they're the only two teams that will play 10 men behind the ball against us. Like Leipzig aren't going to play that way against us. So I think with Jota coming back, we can probably get the goals enough to get a bit further if we get easy draw. With the FA Cup, look, I don't want to become Arsenal where we the highlight of the season is winning the FA Cup in top 4. I said it before. I don't really care. I never cared for the FA Cup. It's not for a while. I think it's lost its magic. I know people are saying about trophy, but for me, even if you finish top 4 and win the champion and win the FA Cup, that's a disastrous season for me, because you've gone from win the league to becoming Arsenal. So, either way, look, if we don't win the Champions League, it's a disastrous season for me. And no one can say to me otherwise that, we won the FA Cup. I don't think we're going to win the FA Cup anyhow. I think we're going to get hard ties up until the final if we got that far. And I think the way we play tonight, I don't see us beating Man United. We might luckily get a draw, but I think it's going to be an ask for us to beat them on the weekend, pick up the players up and get a win away at Old Trafford. Well, record's not good anyhow in the league or in FA or any competition against United. So I don't know. I'm hoping this is a wake-up call to the players, like the Villa game was. But
they had our last 4 games should have been wake-up calls. Tying United when we dominated them in the first half, tying Newcastle, tying West Brom. Like those should have been wake-up calls. Like again, it goes back to this whole mentality monsters thing. Like that's dead and buried. Like that mentality is gone, not to be seen from again the rest of the season. It's clear that that's done, and that's the problem for me. Is that it's not the fact that we're dropping points, the fact that who we're dropping points to. Like, if we're losing to the top 6 teams and it's a battle, I understand that. But the fact that we know exactly how teams are going to play against us. Like, if I'm Klopp in training, I have the U23s come up and train with the entire first team and just say, hey, U23 team, I just want all you guys to stand in the box. Just stay in the box, and now we're going to try and score. That's what the training drills should be, because that's what all the teams are doing against us. And it's just like, how many times are you going to have Robinson and Trent just fucking kick balls in, and anytime we're within 30 yards of the box, we're just going to spray it out wide because we can't pass any ball through the middle? It's sorry for yelling. It's frustrating.
Don't be silly, mate. Literally, I think I totally agree with you. I think someone mentioned in the comments like no plan B. Especially against the smaller teams, we have struggled to break them down. And I do think teams like Burnley, organised, they're defensively organised. They know what their game plan is always. But that a club like Burnley should know that is their game plan. We're going to not have much of the ball. We're going to sit back and soak in the pressure. When you're a club like Liverpool and something's not working, when you're at home as well, that's just the worst thing about this performance. We're at home, somewhere that we've not lost in 68 games at home in the Premier League. And I don't mind if a team plays us off the park and wins a game and, fair play to them, but just embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. And it's something that needs to be changed in, the next few games, but we need a plan B, a different formation, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, it's just concerning for me because you look at what's coming up. Obviously we have United, and there's probably going to be some rotation there. But against Tottenham, against a Mourinho style team, you expect us to go out and get a goal against them? They're going to
score against anyone.
They're going to have 10 people behind the box, and then they're incredibly good at counterattacking. So I have no faith in that game either. It's just it's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to watch this team right now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big ask, the Spurs game. I know we beat them at Anfield, but I think even though Spurs aren't playing amazing, I think it's going to be a big ask. That's going to be a tough game. It's a tough game. Then we've got Leicester as well, soon as well. That's going to be an easy game.
Both away from home as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and Everton as well. They're going to love to come to Anfield and be difficult. Then we got West Ham as well. West Ham always going to be a tough game. Yeah. They're playing well. It's not an easy run, and plus we've got Leipzig in that as well. It's not going to be an easy run.
Magic Mo brought this up. He says Thiago's play style has been downgrading. I mean, I disagree. I think the issue is he's just playing too deep. And again, there's no creative player in front of him. So like, what's he supposed to do playing in the 6? Like, he can't get involved in the offense when he's playing in the 6 and having defensive responsibilities. So and again, we talked about Wijnaldum. For some reason at Liverpool, he can't be that creative guy going forwards. Shaqiri can sometimes, didn't have it again today. Like, we're crying for a guy like Naby Keita, but he's always injured. So I think that's the problem. It's just that we can't, like, if Thiago could play the 8 or the 10 for us, I think we'd be saying a lot of different things right now. But for some reason, he hasn't been given that opportunity yet.
But I think it's a bit different. Like at Bayern Munich, he's got Gnabry, Coleman, Lewandowski, Müller making runs. Even like Goretzka, they're all making runs and movement. There's no one doing that at Liverpool. So Thiago's wasted in terms of his passing because there's no one making runs. So if you've got no runners, it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how good the playmaker is. He needs people making runs and no one's making runs. And plus, I don't think we are told to play through Thiago in the way. I think we're always told to get the ball to the flanks. Even Thiago's been told to get the ball to the flanks because all we do is go to crosses. I don't think we're told to play through the middle. Although the ball come to the middle, still the aim is to still get to the flanks. But we're not told we're playing through the middle and using Thiago that way. So he's not playing the same way as he does at Bayern in that way. It's Bayern, they're always through the middle and play it through that way. So, but look, we shouldn't. The team again tonight was good enough to, even though I didn't like it, it was good enough to beat Burnley. It should have been Burnley, and again, it's not good enough. No one really comes away from this game with a held head high. And lack of creativity again is alarming. What are we going to say now? We said we needed Shaqiri, Thiago, both played. Lack of creativity. Who next? Who else can we say? What if Jota comes back in and he struggles, doesn't get the form because he's not going to come back in and start banging goals. He's been out for like 2 months, 3 months. Let's say he comes back in and he struggles for a month or so. Then what?
Then we're fucked.
Okay.
That's simply what it is.
Okay. So I think it's worrying times, and the fact that we're saying we're relying on Naby, who's always injured 90% of the time, is worrying as well. He was supposed to be back for the United game. When's he going to be back now? You know, they keep saying
I never knew, because this is what's going to happen. He's going to get close, and either he'll get injured in practice, or in this very first game back, he's going to have some sort of muscle strain, because that's the Naby Keita way of life right there.
So
he's a great player, man. I'm sick of and Homer, you talked about it too, man. Like our Black had a good point here. I wanted to bring this up. Our average player is like age 28 to 30. And then you have guys like Shaqiri and Ox and Naby and Joe Gomez and Joe Matip who get injured every single season. So it's just like when you lose Van Dijk, you know, and you have to play, and then you lose Joe Gomez, and then you have to play your best center mids at center back. Like, this is the problem. Like, you can't have people on your squad who are not reliable, who can't even be available, because when that happens, this is exactly the issue we have. Like, we have to play Ox out on the wing when he's not really a winger. Like, and all these things happen. They all start adding up, and then this is the shit that we're left with. Yeah, we're gonna have Everton ahead of us, and it's absolutely pains me to fucking say that. So, I don't know. No man of the match. We're not even gonna get to man of the match. I don't want any of that. Any final thoughts before we kind of wrap up here, fellas?
I mean, the only positive I can think of, Matip didn't get injured.
Hey, that is a good point. He did not get injured. So he can be available when we play Tottenham. So that's a good sign. Finally.
Don't be so sure on that one. Something will happen in training. You know, they won't wrap enough cotton wool around him, and he'll probably pull a groin or something somewhere.
Yeah.
Any last minute things?
Just please score.
That's score a goal. All I want in the next training sessions is, all right, we're doing shooting drills all day and creative passes into shots all practice. That's all I want to see for every single practice leading up to Tottenham.
And when they do score in training, just do the Jurgen Klopp celebration. Run around, like jump up in the air, like it's the best thing that's ever happened to you. Pro Everton, like Jurgen Klopp celebration, like it's got to happen. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think there should be a ban on all social media. Like, no player can picture "I'm ready for the match" or tweet anything like that until Liverpool win. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing it.
I agree. Super agree with that. I want to see any of this to go again, or like, that's all we wanted. I'm done with that too.
Yeah, because I'm sick and tired of it. Oh, who's ready for the game? You're not ready for the game because you put in So I'd ask for a change. No, ban it.
Yeah, it's absurd. Absurd. This is a crazy stat.
I just saw that. It's crazy.
183 passes led to just 6 shots on target. 6 shots on target.
That's disgraceful.
I think we had over 20 chances or something like that. 20 we had a lot of shots that did not hit the target, and I don't know, man. I'm tired, Robbie.
I think we're near. Is it near 100 shots without a goal now? In a space, I mean, averaging say 15 to 20 shots a game and not scoring at least one goal. I mean, I think the closest we came to scoring tonight, apart from the couple of saves maybe Pope made, I think was Alisson from a header from the corner near the end. I think he was the only one that sort of jumped up and made an effort.
Yeah, I think Shaqiri outside the box. He missed the net, but again, at least it was. I mean, at least it was somewhat close. But I don't know. Something needs to change. We're all frustrated. Hopefully, somebody can step up and just give this team a shot of energy. Honestly, now I would love to see Klopp get on the phone with FSG and just be like, give me funds to spend in January. I don't care what we got to spend. I want to bring in some guys just to mix something up. It's not going to happen, but I wish it would happen. Because we just need a major shakeup.Maybe this summer, when Aldham leaving might be a good thing, like what Homie said, getting a more creative guy, maybe bringing a couple guys. But I would start shipping some people out. Like, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's in my target as potentially get out of here. Divock Origi definitely needs to get out. Genie sounds like he's going to be leaving. I would love to have him stay on the squad, but it sounds like he's leaving. But Yeah, it's getting time to start cutting the dead weight. What's that?
Stop making him captain. He shouldn't be captain again this season. If he's leaving, he should be made captain. Why is he being captain for? As Luke said earlier, why is he being made captain? So no, like
that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. It's like this guy. I know you've offered him contracts, and we don't know what the wage amount is. We'll never know that, but still, it's like he's being linked to a move out, and you give him a link. It literally reminded me. It was so Coutinho-esque making him captain right before he left. I don't know if you guys remember that, but literally gave me vibes. Gave me Coutinho vibes.
This is a slap in the face with other players who are staying, who are loyal, who are staying. So I don't want to see that.
It's a slap in the face of Mo Salah. I mean, because he complained about the midget land, didn't get the captaincy. Trent got it because of the he's been at the club maybe the longest out of anyone. But then for me, all right, he didn't start tonight, but we've all had the rumours with Mo Salah with Real Madrid. But at no point has he said I want to leave the club. At no point has he said this. We know Wijnaldum wants to go, and they're giving him the captaincy. I think if Salah would have started tonight, I still think Gini would have been captain.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, and again, it's just like it's one of those Klopp decisions that makes you scratch your head a little bit. So I don't know. It's frustrating. Hopefully the guys take this as a kick in the ass and they, we can start getting some, okay, or back up. Go find yourself a Man United chat. We don't want to see any of that. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know. But hopefully we can bounce back and maybe get a good result in the FA Cup and get a favorable matchup. Or if not, we definitely the game against Tottenham's now, in my opinion, is a must win. If you don't win that game, top four is in serious jeopardy if we don't win that game. I mean, again, I'm done talking about the league. So
what happens if we didn't get top four?
I think Salah would be gone. I think Salah would leave in the summer.
I'm not saying it would happen. We're just saying, do you think? Of course, I don't think I'm not at all one of the people who are saying Klopp's job's in jeopardy. That's nonsense. That's just absolute rubbish. But there would have to be major changes. He would have to then say we haven't got top four. Major change needed. Surely he'd have to say it.
It would be destruction to our team if we don't make the Champions League, especially with COVID. We need those extra finances for making the Champions League, and if we don't get that, luckily we have a solid base of players right now, but that's going to be really hard to bring in talent next year if we're not in the Champions League. And
we can't. Yeah, I was just going to say that players may leave, but at the same time, we wouldn't be able to attract players the rumours, obviously, which we all know with the Haaland and Mbappe, etc., whether it will happen or not. But no, if we don't make top four this year, sacking Klopp would be nonsense. But he may even question himself, has he taken the club as far as he can? There's always rumours of him taking the Germany job in the next year or so. If he doesn't make top four, he may take the decision himself, but who knows? Yeah, that's another good point. That's another good thing to watch. Because if he's not going to get the support, if he's not going to be able to spend money on the guys that he wants, it's I don't know. It's going to be funny. I don't know. But I don't know. I think we should wrap it up there. We've had a lot of good conversations. But Luke, thanks for joining us, man. This was as bad as the game was. This was a really fun conversation with you, and would definitely love to have you and your co-host Ricky on with us again. Absolute pleasure. No, thank you very much for letting me come on. Obviously, shame with the result, but hopefully next time I'm on, we'll be talking about a nice victory for Liverpool. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. But everyone who's tuning in, we really appreciate you guys. The chat was awesome today. Keep up that stuff. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And also check out the 1892 Reds pod. It's gonna be really good stuff. So,
and we've got a brand new show tomorrow.
Brand new show tomorrow, our Friday final word. Keep an eye out for that shorter episode. This talks about all the latest news and has nothing to do with games, just news, transfer rumors, gossip, all that fun stuff. So should be a fun one tomorrow. Tune in for that. But otherwise, up the Reds next time we play. We need a turnaround. We still got to believe in the lads, even though I think the title race is over. We got to get top four. We can still do it. Up the Reds. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Up the Reds.